But anyways, let's move on now into the Toronto Raptors talk. We haven't talked Raptors all year.
No?
Isn't that crazy?
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, usually we have
gave
a
credit
couple.
to DeMar.
We did. He was a wet boy.
Yeah.
Last week?
Yeah, last week.
Yeah,
He was your wet boy.
We talked a little about the Raptors, but the Raptors right now, second in the Eastern Conference right now, above the Toronto, not the Toronto Raptors.
The
They're
Raptors are
above
above the Raptors.
the Cleveland Cavaliers.
They did have first place for like 12 hours or something.
Yeah,
Before they fucked up.
Yeah, right now they're sitting at 23-10. Somehow Boston's sitting at 28-10, playing a ton of games this year. But you look at Cleveland, 24-11 as well. So Toronto is currently second in the Eastern Conference. And the question of this podcast is, can the Toronto Raptors surpass or compete? Something like that. Compete. You'll see the title on YouTube.
Basically, can they compete with the Cavs and the Celtics?
Yeah, can they compete
overcome?
with the Cavs?
Can they overcome the Cavs and the Celtics?
I forget the text. I text you guys the topics.
You're the ideas guy.
And I forget.
So
you did. It was overcome.
Can the Raptors overcome
the Cavs
Celtics and Cavs
in
the Eastern Conference?
Before I get to your question, the one thing I do want to say is I love the comment we got like last week or 2 weeks ago where it was on our prediction video kind of taunting us towards like, yeah, we're the Raptors now because all of us had them like 4th, 5th, 6th in the East and they're sitting there at second. The one thing I'm going to say is no, they can't. And the reason why is if the playoffs started today, they'd be playing the Milwaukee Bucks. And if you remember those predictions, I said the Bucks would win in 6 over the Raptors. So that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Team Wingspan going to beat the Raptors. They won't even have to worry about the Cavs or the Celtics.
Hashtag fear the deer.
Yeah, fear the deer.
No, I mean, that's a solid point there.
That's the thing. Like, yeah, you're the second seed in the Eastern Conference, but are you going to get out of the first round to play the Cavs or the Celtics?
Do you think they'll finish in the top 3?
Yes. The Wizards, I'm shocked at how they're 5. I thought they'd be a lot better. Well, I thought they'd be a lot better this year.
They have 5 players.
I thought they'd be no, I had them third best. I had Cavs, Celtics, number 1, number 2. But I thought they'd be top 3 in the East.
Well, they have 5 players, and one of them's out.
Yeah, I say John Wall missed way too many games already, so we'll see what happens to them. But no, I mean this Raptors team doing awesome. Like DeMar shooting threes now, that's crazy. Their bench and young talent was really good for the start of the season. They've dipped down back to reality again, but I mean honestly, like they have a really well balanced team, good mix of young and old. I think that they can go a series. I think they can go to 6, 7 games with anybody in the East. I don't necessarily know that I would pick them as a favorite to beat the Celtics or the Cavs. Maybe the Celtics. I think matchup wise they could do them dirty. But yeah, I just like the combo. Like Lowry stepped back a little bit. DeMar is starting to take over. And honestly, like OG, I know he's gotten a ton of praise, but he looks legit. He looks great.
All right, guys, I want you to close your eyes and think of this. All right, think of a T-shirt. You're not closing your eyes. Think of a T-shirt.
I am.
No,
See?
but Dave isn't.
Oh, okay.
Dave is wide open. But close your eyes. Think of a T-shirt. All right, blank T-shirt, and it says.
Is it just a white T-shirt?
Is whatever color you want.
I'm gonna go black.
You can go black. You can go heather gray. You can go white.
Does
whatever
it have
you want.
sleeves?
Yeah, it's a T-shirt.
It's a T-shirt. It's a T-shirt like this.
Okay.
All right.
Plain black T-shirt.
And you see the Raptors logo, and it says 2017, 2018 NBA Eastern Conference champions.
Wow.
Does it make you laugh?
A little. Like it made me,
Could you believe it? Could you believe it's true?
As soon as you said Eastern Conference champions, I opened my eyes and gave you that look like, Sean, have you been smoking something today?
No, but I'm asking,
Eastern Conference Finals participant?
Can you picture it, is what I'm saying.
No.
Can you picture it?
No, not at all.
The Cavs.
Not at all. Well, that's the thing.
It's the Cavs.
Two things I'm sitting at. If we're talking about who they have the better chance against, I kind of disagree with Dave. I would go with
Really?
Right now I would go with the Cavs only because I wonder, the one thing I look at is they've got the backcourt, but they also have the front court that, the Cavs don't have. And that's the one thing that, Draymond Green, when we look at the Warriors and Cavs situation, what has been the one position in the one area we look at to overcome the Cavs? Draymond Green, it was Andrew Bogut in the one finals that they won. The Celtics.
Godala?
Here's the thing with the Cavs and why I'm not using that as a reason for the end of the year. I think the Cavs are going to make the move come trade deadline, come somewhere in the trade to get somebody to where that's not even a factor. Not even a factor at all.
So you're
saying because
I'm
because
saying
of Serge
right-
Ibaka, they can beat the
and-
Cavs?
Right now, no, not
JV?
Serge Ibaka. I would go more with Valanciunas and having a front court in general against this Cavs team because, I mean, K-Love's going to play out. He's a stretch four. Tristan Thompson, we have talked mad shit about him this podcast, like, in general.
Yeah, but Valanciunas
Caleb-
is trash too.
I say-
Valanciunas can't
I'm not
can't play
saying he's a
defense.
superstar.
Caleb's been playing center, so
I'll take K-Love
Mo-
over Valanciunas.
See, I
Yeah.
would.
I'll take
that's-
K-Love over Serge Ibaka.
That's the only
Yeah.
reason, and I'm not saying they would overcome the Cavs. I'm saying that's the one. If I'm picking one or the other to have a chance against and maybe bring them to 6 games, it would be the Cavs over the Celtics. However, I don't see that happening because I see the Cavs making the move necessary to add some help so that doesn't happen. And it's Cavs Celtics.
And Jeff Green's pretty much American Serge Ibaka too. So
Okay.
like, let's just be honest. Let's just be real here.
I'd say the Cavs lineups has been changing, and they've kind of got it down, and then they're just gonna add Isaiah Thomas back, and eventually add Derrick Rose back. Like, I'm not, no. DeMar DeRozan is gonna light them up, and that's about the only thing. Like, but then it goes back to like, are they gonna not be the trash bros this year?
Mm-hmm.
Because if the Raptors fucking if their backcourt goes back to what they've done the last 3 playoff series, three playoff
like that,
years. Like, where they just disappear, shoot ungodly, awful numbers, like, yeah, they're not going to win. But honestly, if there's a spot to completely wreck the Cavs from, it's the 1-2 guard. Like, there's no defense going to be played there.
Yeah, with
So,
Isaiah Thomas and Shump and Smith being there.
And Wade. I mean,
and
no.
Wade, too. The thing that is different, though, and the reason why I think that they could overcome the Celtics, and I don't think they'll be able to overcome the Cavs,
Yeah.
but possibly make it a series because the last couple times they've played,
They got
I know
swept
one of them
last year.
Yeah, and then the year before it was 6 games. It was a really like a brutal 6 games.
Yeah,
Like
it wasn't a
Cavs-
good 6.
Yeah, the Cavs mowed them down pretty much in 6 games. That was probably the most lopsided 6 games I've ever seen. I feel like it can be more at least competitive this year because you look at them. Not only is DeMar DeRozan shooting better from 3, they're playing better defense. They're already one of the better defensive teams in the league, and now you're adding Serge Ibaka, who's getting like a half a block a game. DeMar DeRozan's playing great defense. Lowry's playing good defense. OG Anunoby off the bench is great defensively. You look at Jakob Poeltl as well. I mean, like they have a ton of bench help. Norman Powell as well. I mean, they have a ton of bench help that they can rely on. You look at the obviously Lowry and DeRozan. Valanciunas is okay offensively. I mean, he'll shoot a high percentage for you. Ibaka looks really nice as a third piece. The thing that I really like though is the fact that they are not relying just on DeMar DeRozan mid game. And this is a team that last year was in like 20th in three pointers. Now they're up in the top 15. Now they're sitting 13 in the NBA. This is a team that's kind of adapting to the modern NBA with the players that they currently have, and the players that they currently have are ridiculously talented. I mean, like we mentioned, Kyle Lowry versus DeMar DeRozan can beat Isaiah Thomas, Dwayne Wade, J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert, D Rose to
And by
Jose
beat,
Calderon.
you mean, just to clarify for the people at home, because I know But by beat them, you mean that they can beat them offensively.
No, I'm saying those
Like
two.
they cannot be defended.
Those two can. Yeah, those
That's-
two.
I just wanna
I'm
say.
saying like if I had to pick
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan and any combo of the Cavs guards.
Oh, really?
I'm taking Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan.
Really? You're going away from Isaiah Thomas.
Well,
And
yeah,
Well,
mystery.
it's just
1v2.
Isaiah Thomas. I mean, like
you
I'm,
could get playoff Dwayne Wade.
I'm not throwing Dwayne Wade in my starting lineup though.
Could get play. Yeah, but
No,
if they
it'd be
play
JR,
together,
wouldn't it?
I would rather have DeMar DeRozan than
seen-
Dwayne
we've
Wade.
seen
That's
a
not a
couple.
hot take.
I'm just saying. Yeah, we'll wait and
I
see
feel
what
like
Isaiah does.
See, I feel
wouldn't go that far yet.
I feel like Isaiah Thomas is great. I'm not trying to take away from it.
Yeah.
But I feel the discrepancy between Kyle Lowry and Isaiah Thomas is much smaller compared to the discrepancy between DeMar DeRozan and D Wade.
yeah,
so that's what I'm
that's
saying.
true.
I feel like you might have a better player in Isaiah Thomas compared
Yep.
to Kyle Lowry, but I'm
Yeah,
saying
it's
overall
1-4 versus 2-3.
they're a better
basically.
pair.
Yeah,
They're a better pair together, and that's what I'm saying.
I got you.
You know, D Rose and T, they might be great players separately, but we don't know how they're going to play together.
right.
So I look at that, and I would say I would rather take Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. They're shooting better from the floor. They're spacing out great. I mean, that's one thing that passing.
They're passing more this year than they had
Passing
the last
back
2
and
years.
forth.
Yeah.
This offense is flowing fantastically. So this is something that I feel like if they are able to take down the Cavs, it's going to be due to just better basketball being played on the floor. They're not relying on DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry to take them everywhere. They're not relying on DeMar DeRozan just to play iso ball and mid-range game. I mean, this is something that Dwayne Casey's done a great job of kind of changing this Toronto Raptors team. And I was kind of not a huge fan of Dwayne Casey. I've probably called him to be fired a couple times on this podcast.
Because of that, I was going to ask you, if they go to the playoffs this year, and let's say, I'm not saying they win one and then lose to the Cavs and Celtics, because if they lose to the Cavs or the Celtics, it ain't going to happen. But let's say they go to the playoffs, they lose to Milwaukee in the first round. Would you be on the fire Dwayne Casey train?
No. I feel like he's made changes. And I feel like, obviously, I got to see how that playoff series plays out. But I don't think Dwayne Casey deserves to be fired right now.
If we see the Trash Bros again in the playoffs, what happens? I mean, what do you do then? Because you just have two people.
Because they just signed Lowry, too.
Yeah, you got two guys, and they just come up so... They don't come up at all in the playoffs.
I feel like you can't get rid of DeMar. I feel like he's a Raptor for life.
Those are your two key pieces. Like, that's the thing. Like, so your best players suck in the clutch. Like, they're anti-Jimmy Butler.
Well, you have terrible Valanciunas as well, who's just bad in general.
No one wants him.
And no one wants him. So you have Ibaka, who, I mean, like, I just feel like if
Are you okay
they come
as a
up and
Raptors fan, like, just saying that, hey, we're going to be a first or second round exit every year because our best two players...
Are they Clippers North?
Ooh.
They Clippers North?
That's a damn good question, Sean.
I'm going to say the only reason
they didn't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
They did.
No. The only reason I'm going to say no is because with the Clippers, each and every year, it's been who's been injured. Like, it hasn't been DeMar's injured, season's over. Well, Kyle's injured, season's over.
They both individually had been injured last year.
No, but I'm saying, like, every single year, Blake or
the Clippers
CP
is just amazing.
were going down. Like, in a playoff series, they were playing good in the first round, and then it's like, well, Blake went down with a hand. Fuck this. It's over. Or, like, CP goes down. Well, this playoffs is over. It doesn't matter if we get by it. If I am the Raptors... The thing I am not, Raptors fans, I'll say, because I know the players aren't going to think like this. There are three possible opponents I could see them playing at the end of the year if they stay at the two. The Pacers, the Bucks, or even the Heat. And I'm just going off of teams that are in the playoffs right now. Or the Bulls. The Bulls. The thought of them going 500 scares me, and I don't want that to happen. People keep telling me to stop thinking like that, and I wish I could because it's a rational fear that I have. But out of the three teams, Pacers, Bucks, and Heat, the one I'd want to see is the Heat. I think that's the one you can get through. The Bucks and the Pacers. The Bucks are the team, no way want to see them. Don't want to see Giannis. Don't want to see Jabari if he comes back this year, like what he's going to be. Don't want to see Chris Middleton. The Pacers are a team where it's like, maybe we could beat them. But Victor Oladipo's been pretty fucking good this year to the chance of it's like, I don't want to see him.
I'm fine taking on the Pacers though and the Raptors. I would worry mostly about the Bucks because you look at that size of
they're number
Eric
one.
Bledsoe and you look at the size of Middleton. I mean, like, they'll be able to play defense on Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. So that's the thing, like, or even Giannis. If they feel like DeMar DeRozan's going to be that big of a problem, throw Giannis on him. I mean, throw that size.
The only problem with the Bucks is their head coach is just shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah, that's a guy who needs to be fired. If we're talking, if we're going on, Sean's weekly,
fire this guy.
Yeah, what's it called? Homelessness, employment. I don't know.
Unemployment tracker.
What's this? Who is the Ivan the Terrible? What was his thing? It was just Reign of Terror.
Don't know.
Reign of Terror.
The Reign of Terror.
I usually call for someone to be fired.
You do.
At least on a
very,
podcast. Jason, I've said Jason Kidd deserves to be fired before. I don't care if he's a Hall of Famer. He deserves to be fired.
Here's the interesting thing about the Raptors. Coming into this week from this podcast to the next podcast, we'll see how the Raptors do because they play the Hawks, which will be whatever. It'll be a win. But then New Year's Day, they do play Milwaukee for the first time this season in Toronto. And then on Wednesday, they got to play the hot Bulls. I know they've beaten the Bulls twice, but it was only by...
That was pre-Nicola.
Pre-Nicola, and it was 17 points day one and only 5 points November 7th.
But it's a Wednesday, not a Thursday.
However, the Bulls have been 9 of 11, so next time we record the podcast, we will know our true answer after they've played the Bucks and the hot Bulls.
And on the 11th, they face Cleveland for the first time as well. They are 3-0 against Philly, which has been impressive.
And then the Warriors. They just hit the...
Well, they lost against the Warriors early in the season, too.
I would say, their schedule might take a little dip. They might not be in second by next time.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I feel like they can beat Milwaukee once. They'll beat Atlanta. I feel like they'll be able to beat Chicago. I know. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
They'll beat Brooklyn.
Man, they'll shock you.
They'll beat Brooklyn. They'll beat Miami.
Here.
That's like 5 wins right there.
We usually play the Raptors tough anyways.
We usually have a Raptor killer. Someone steps up. We'll see.
I feel like they can get 5 wins in their next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Lori
7, 8 games.
Wakes up.
I think they can go 5-3.
All right.
Okay.
I don't think that's crazy.
We'll see it.
But then maybe But if Cleveland goes on a nice run and beats Toronto, then they're jumping up, and then they'll be at the 3 seed. If they're at the 3 seed, I don't have the standings pulled up. Who are they playing?
Who?
Toronto.
Cleveland? Oh,
Toronto. If they move down to the 3 seed, who are they playing?
They're gonna play
It was
the
one of those
Pacers.
three.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would
Pacers
like
are
that
6
better.
right now.
I would like that better if I'm a Raptors fan. I feel like just the way that this team has changed, just with the way that they've been passing more, I feel like we won't see trash bros. I feel like it's not like DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry can't play in the playoffs. I feel like their style of basketball couldn't play in the playoffs. And the way that Dwayne Casey ran that, it was pretty predictable, especially in a 7-game series, 5-game series, whatever you want to say. That was the biggest Achilles heel for them, is the fact that they couldn't really change up their game throughout the 7-game series. Where if they aren't able to move the ball and pass like they're currently doing, then hell, maybe we throw some ISO ball at them with DeMar DeRozan. Like they're coming to me with more weapons.
They've evolved their game.
Yeah, exactly. And they have a deeper bench. You look at Biaka Pirtle, you look at OG Anunoby, you look at CJ Miles,
Even
you look
Fred.
at Norman Powell.
Fred Van
Vliet. Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that can shoot from the outside. He's a nice ball handler as well. So,
Yep.
I mean, I like the depth that they have. I feel like if they have to make a move, though, it's got to be getting JV out of there, but they're not going to get him out.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be happy and earn themselves a an Eastern Conference championship participant.
The trophy?
Just trophy, sticker, button.
You were in the playoffs.
Yeah, you made the playoffs. I think they can go decently deep though.
One thing I got to throw out there: Fred Van Vliet. You know where he's from, right?
Wichita State.
He's from Rockford, Illinois.
Oh,
Where he
local
was
boy.
born.
I
So he's
didn't
from
know where you were
Illinois.
asking
No,
about your
like,
birthplace.
actually-
You rattled that
him
off.
him and Brandon
Well,
were born
I
in the
don't
same
want
area.
Ricky to rub it in the face. He's from the Shockers.
Oh,
It's
my
him.
God.
It's him and Ronnie Baker.
Yeah, no, but he's
Man.
from Rockford, Illinois. So got to rep the Illinois love. But looking at the Cavs next games, you just want to hear their games up until the 11th. They play the Jazz. They play Portland. Then they've got Boston. I'll give you that one. That one's a tough one. Then
I
the
thought- I thought you were
Magic.
gonna say that was an easy one.
then they play the Magic
Easy.
and the T-Wolves. Now, give it all of those except for Portland are on the road.
How many back-to-backs?
Back-to-backs, they've got Portland at home to Boston as a back-to-back. So Cleveland to Boston travel. And then that's it. It's the only back-to-back that they have in that span.
Bron's gonna get some rest.
Yeah, we'll see. I still think we're probably gonna watch the end of the year, and Raptors will be probably a 3 seed.
Ricky, what are you thinking?
Me?
At the end of the year, where are the Raptors sitting?
I could see them as, if you asked me the T-shirt thing and it said 2nd seed in the East, I could see that.
because they make T-shirts for that.
Well, I could see it at least. I could
We're
see
number
them
2.
being.
I'm giving out a participation
Well,
trophy over here, so I think it's okay.
I could see them as the 2nd seed, but I'd probably agree with Dave. They're probably going to be the 3rd seed. The thing is, can they avoid the Bucks? Because if they play the Bucks in the first round, it's Bucks and 6,
What
like
the
I've been
Buck?
saying since the beginning of the year.
There you go.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I feel like even though they changed their game, they still don't have that full team there. And I think if they make a move at the deadline, that's going to change it. And
Shitting
if
on JV.
they go get... Well,
They
hold
go
on.
get Bismack Biyombo back.
I was going to say, if they go
The
get
greatest
DeAndre...
Raptor of all time.
If they go
No.
get DeAndre Jordan,
VC.
that definitely changes their team.
Yeah, it depends what they have to give up for him, though.
But
Yeah.
if the
Considering
Cavs,
they gave 2
but if the
picks up
Cavs get DeAndre
To move
Jordan,
somebody off their team, they don't exactly have firepower.
No.
Damari Carroll took a 1 and a 2 to get off your team.
You think
Remember
DeMar
that.
Carroll will still be good? Like if he was on
He's
this
still
team?
not
No,
bad
I'm saying
right
if
now.
he was on this team, do you think he'd still be? No, I'm saying like he's doing good right now.
Yeah, I
Do you
mean,
feel like
probably.
he'd still be?
he'd have a slack season, I think. Like
Nah,
a
I think
season
he'd be
where
alright.
it would dip.
I feel like they shouldn't have moved him. I know he's got a ton of salary
Yeah.
built on there.
It was bad salary, but at the same time, you're not getting the same player because he got injured. And then it was like, hey, rehab season. And now he's in shape and playing well and motivated and up-tempo offense, but he's getting way more looks in Brooklyn. So, I think it would probably have been the same old, same old. Doesn't get you past LeBron.
Raptor fans, what do you think? Down in the comments below, do you feel like you have enough firepower to beat the Celtics and the Cavs? Because I feel like you can beat one of them. I think it's the Celtics, but I don't think you're going to beat both of them. I don't think you're going to the Eastern Conference or the NBA finals.
Finals.
I don't think you're going to the NBA finals.
No
Could,
shit.
the,
You could
could
go
the
to-
Raptors upset the Warriors?
We'll
That's
have a
what you
preview
talk
game
next.
in
That's what you
a
talk
couple
next.
weeks.
No. Let us,
No.
let us know in the comments down below if you think you can beat both the Celtics and the Cavs in the comments below.